More than simply the cold, it's deadly. Every year, harsh winter weather kills people via hypothermia, power outages, and accidents. Winter storms and cold temperatures cause an average of 1,300 fatalities each year in the United States. Consider being caught in a storm that knocks out power for days or even weeks. Your heat has gone out, your food supply is running low, and your safety is jeopardized. If you believe you're prepared just because you have a few sweaters and candles, you're mistaken. Winter does not care if you are optimistic or take shortcuts. It is harsh, ruthless, and will put you to the test in ways you never imagined. Without the necessary materials, you will be left looking at ice creeping up your walls, wrapped in a blanket that is becoming thinner by the minute, wishing you had done more to prepare. Winter won't wait for you to figure things out. It will drive you to the brink, and the consequence of being unprepared might be your comfort, health, or even your life. In this video, we'll go over 7 crucial items, not just nice-to-haves, but necessary needs, that might mean the difference between remaining safe and warm and confronting the type of terrible cold that saps your vitality and puts your safety at danger. These are not fancy devices or gimmicks. These are the tools you'll need when winter has no compassion. By the conclusion of this movie, you'll know precisely what you need to get through winter like an expert. Let's dig in. First, let's speak about cold weather clothing that is prepared for any situation. If you believe a couple of sweatshirts and a winter coat will get you through a harsh blackout, you should reconsider your plan. When your heat goes out, you're not only dealing with discomfort, you're fighting to protect your body from the cold, which may be fatal if not prepared. When the temperature dips to bone-chilling levels, you don't want to be caught off guard. Hypothermia does not care whether you are indoors. It might attack if your body is not adequately protected. To live and perform in extreme cold, you need specific equipment, not simply winter clothing. Consider the equipment that mountaineers and Arctic explorers rely on. This is the type of protection you need. This is more than just layering up with anything you have laying around. It's about selecting the correct fabrics to trap heat and keep you dry. Begin with high-quality thermal base layers, not cheap cotton that absorbs perspiration and makes you colder. Choose moisture-wicking textiles such as merino wool or synthetic mixes, which draw perspiration away from your skin and help regulate your body temperature. Next, add insulating layers such as fleece or down to keep the heat in. Your outer layer should be windproof and waterproof, as even a tiny airflow from a poorly sealed window will quickly deplete your body heat. Don't forget about your extremities. The hands, feet, and head are the places you lose the most heat. Invest on wool socks, insulated gloves, and a thermal cap or balaclava. And this is a game changer. Chemical hand and foot warmers. These little pouches provide hours of heat and might be the difference between having frozen fingers and being able to use your hands efficiently. Now let's speak about footwear. Regular shoes will not suffice if you need to venture outside in snow or freezing rain. Insulated, waterproof boots are a must-have. And if you can't keep a whole room warm, bring a thermal sleeping bag suited for sub-zero temperatures. It provides a portable cocoon of warmth when you need it the most. You may chuckle at the idea today, but try going 2 days without heat while the weather is dropping. You'll quickly recognize the importance of having gear that keeps you warm enough to be effective and safe. Cold weather clothing is more than simply comfortable. It's also about survival. When your body is working extra to remain warm, the appropriate clothing may make a huge difference. When your body works extra to remain warm, you burn more calories and lose energy faster. Without the proper equipment, even routine actions like bringing water or checking on a neighbor may suddenly turn deadly. It is tempting to cut corners, but do not. Get the correct equipment, try it out, and understand how to layer it successfully. When the cold sets in and the electricity goes out, you will be thankful for every warm sock and windproof jacket you purchased. In a blackout, the cold has no compassion, and neither should you. Now, let's speak about something that could save your life. A hand crank weather radio with emergency notifications. Here's the grim reality. In a blackout, quiet may kill. The silence may feel weird, but what's worse is being kept in the dark about important facts. You won't know if the winter storm is becoming worse, whether shelters are being put up, or if evacuation orders have been issued. Your phone, internet, and television might all be out of service. It's simply a fancy paperweight. In this case, the only thing standing between you and complete isolation is a hand-cranked weather radio. But I'm not talking about those cheap novelty devices you see at bargain stores. You need a rugged, multifunctional emergency radio that is NOAA approved and has several charging options. These radios aren't simply an emergency tool, they're a lifeline. A decent one will not only detect AM, FM, and NOAA weather bands, but will also include a flashlight, phone charging capabilities, and a loud emergency alarm. The hand crank function ensures that you never run out of power, regardless of how long the blackout lasts. Some versions even have a solar panel for daytime backup charging, which is a game changer. Don't underestimate the usefulness of a built-in illumination. When the lights go out, seeing where you're going is crucial, and it might mean the difference when it comes time to act. When the electricity goes off and darkness falls, you'll understand how dark it can get. In these situations, having a dependable all-in-one gadget to light your path and keep you informed becomes critical. Without it, you'll be working in the dark, literally and metaphorically. Winter storms don't care if you aren't prepared. What if a snowstorm is on the way? Or temperatures drop to life-threatening levels overnight? What if there is a gas leak and first responders are giving critical evacuation orders? You'll miss out on everything unless you have a functional emergency radio. You'll be left guessing what your next action will be, which might be fatal in a survival situation. This is not about comfort. It is about keeping ahead of the storm, being aware of your surroundings, and having the necessary knowledge to respond swiftly and decisively. These radios are not optional. When you're cut off from all contemporary conveniences, that hand-cranked radio becomes your lifeline, a light in the midst of mayhem. Choose one with a loudspeaker to hear notifications over roaring winds and crying youngsters. Keep it conveniently available, test it on a regular basis, and understand how to use it before you need to. When the world goes black, the knowledgeable survive, while the ignorant die. Now, let's get to your cooking needs. When the electricity goes out, your kitchen becomes a relic of convenience. There is no stove, microwave, or oven, so cooking is not easy. If you rely on canned or cold meals, you're setting yourself up for a significant morale fall, as well as the possibility of health problems from eating poorly balanced or unheated foods. You truly need a multi-fuel cooking setup. A multi-fuel cooking system is more than a luxury. It is a survival need. It allows you to create hot, nutritious meals regardless of what is occurring on the grid. When the electricity goes out, you'll need a dependable system to stay nourished, comfortable, and energized. Begin with a dual-fuel camp stove that can operate on both propane and butane. These fuels are convenient to store, generally available, and the stove itself is small and efficient. You can boil water or prepare a whole meal in minutes, making it an essential equipment in your emergency bag. But do not stop there. You will also want a backup cooking system. Consider using a portable wood-burning stove or a tiny alcohol stove. Wood-burning stoves are very handy since you may get fuel from fallen branches, discarded wood, or even broken furniture. Alcohol stoves are lightweight, clean-burning, and may operate on readily available fuels such as rubbing alcohol or ethanol. The trick here is having several fuel alternatives. If the supply system fails and retailers run out of propane, you may only have what you can collect yourself. Now let's be real. What happens if you don't have a means to cook? Sure, you can eat cold beans and peanut butter for a few days, but what if you need to boil water for hygiene? Or when someone in your family is unwell and requires a warm, comforting meal? What do you do when your children are chilly and uncomfortable, and you can't even give them a warm drink? A multi-fuel cooking system provides versatility. It's not only about surviving, it's about preserving some sort of routine amidst the turmoil. You may use it to heat soups, boil water for tea or coffee, cook pasta, and even prepare rice, giving your body the energy and warmth it needs in cold, stressful weather. Don't forget the cooking tools. Sturdy equipment and utensils will be just as crucial in preparing the meals that will sustain you. When utilizing your stove in an emergency, be sure you have a safe and dependable means to start it. Waterproof matches or a reliable fire starter are essential. If you're cooking outside or in a drafty place, remember to add a windshield to your stove. Otherwise, you'll waste valuable fuel. Stock up on extra fuel canisters as well, enough to last at least 2 weeks, and maybe more if you live in a region prone to protracted outages. Because, let's be honest, cold sandwiches and canned beans will not keep you physically or mentally fit for long. When everything else fails, a reliable multi-fuel cooking system keeps you nourished, healthy, and sane. Now, let's speak about something equally important: light. When a winter blackout occurs, the darkness might seem interminable. With the sun setting as early as 4 p.m. and power outages lasting hours, you'll understand how much you rely on contemporary illumination. Flashlights and candles are useful for the first night or two, but what happens after the batteries run out, or the candles burn out? Are you prepared to live in complete darkness, falling over furniture and trying to find your way? If you're unprepared, the darkness may be oppressive, unsettling, and even hazardous. That's why a solar illumination kit isn't just a useful addition to your emergency supplies. It's an absolute must. An excellent solar lighting system has many lights that may be charged throughout the day and offer hours of consistent illumination at night. Many kits include lightweight solar panels that are simple to put up and can charge in low-light circumstances. Some types allow you to daisy-chain lights, illuminating numerous rooms or outdoor spaces with a single power supply. The benefit of solar lighting is that it does not rely on the grid, so you will have light regardless of how long the blackout lasts. This modest investment may make all the difference when the lights go out and you're left in the dark. The beauty of solar illumination is that it is self-sustaining, no batteries to replenish, no fuel to store. Light exists as long as there is daylight. Here's an expert tip: seek for lights with adjustable brightness levels. This allows you to save energy by utilizing a low setting for general illumination, and then turning it up when you require concentrated task lighting, such as cooking or reading. Now, let's talk about what occurs when you don't have sufficient illumination during a blackout. Simple tasks may become daunting. Cooking, reading, or simply finding your way to the restroom becomes a tedious challenge, or worse, a disaster waiting to happen. Have you ever attempted to start a propane burner or go down slippery steps in the dark? Not only is it inconvenient, but it is also hazardous. Don't overlook the psychological impact. The darkness causes fear and worry, particularly among youngsters and older family members. A well-lit house serves more than simply function. It lifts moods and fosters a sense of safety and routine. Solar lighting kits, however, are not limited to indoor use. When the electricity goes out, outdoor illumination becomes just as important for protection. A few strategically positioned solar-powered floodlights around your property can dissuade looters and animals while also providing you with peace of mind during a stressful circumstance. Additionally, many kits include lanterns or handheld lights, making them portable. If you need to evacuate or check on your neighbors, you may bring these lights with you. Some even include USB connections, allowing you to charge small electronics as phones or radios during a protracted blackout. Solar illumination is more than simply a convenience. It's a lifeline. Without it, you're left stumbling around in the dark, squandering batteries and burning out candles faster than you think. With it, you have dependable, renewable illumination that keeps you secure and connected, no matter what happens outside. Keeping your house functional, safe, and a little brighter during the darkest times is critical. Clean water is one of the most important factors of survival during a winter storm. When water lines freeze or rupture, you might lose access to fresh water in an instant. Here's the harsh reality. Without clean water, survival becomes a dangerous bet. You can only go approximately 3 days without water, and dehydration happens faster than you expect in frigid temperatures. As your body works overtime to remain warm, your requirement for water increases. Don't make the mistake of believing bottled water is sufficient. When supplies run low or pipes thaw and unleash tainted sludge, you'll wish you had a dependable means to convert any water supply into something potable. A portable water filtration system is more than just a luxury for campers and hikers. It's a must-have for winter situations. Look for gravity-fed water filters, which can cleanse many gallons at a time without the use of pumps or energy. These devices are ideal for residential usage when the taps run dry. For mobility, consider purchasing a high-quality straw-style filter or a small pump filter. These technologies let you to drink directly from streams, snowmelt, or any other potentially contaminated water source without fear of germs, parasites, or other hazardous diseases. Better, select a system with a multi-stage filter that eliminates not just bacteria, but also heavy metals and contaminants. Don't forget to bring water purification pills or a UV sterilizer as backup. Filtration alone may not destroy viruses, which may be present in metropolitan areas with weak sewage systems. A decent UV pen can kill viruses in seconds, and water purification pills are a simple and efficient way to guarantee your water is safe to use. With a portable water filtration system, you're not only surviving, you're also protecting your health and safety, even if your water source is contaminated. A portable water filtration system is light, inexpensive, and extremely effective for bulk water purification. Remember that boiling water isn't always practicable during a power outage, especially if fuel is short, and melting snow can be wasteful and dangerous. Without adequate sanitation, the water you consume may become more harmful than beneficial. Without clean water, everything in your home comes to a halt. Cooking is hard, staying hydrated is risky, and cleanliness is out the window. Let us not underestimate the psychological cost of always worrying about whether the water you're drinking will make you sick. A dependable filtration system gives you peace of mind, knowing that you'll always have access to life-sustaining fluids. Staying hydrated is especially important in the intense winter cold, since dehydration increases frostbite and hypothermia. You don't want to discover the hard way how quickly poor water may ruin your survival efforts. The next item is a rechargeable battery bank with solar capability, a must-have for a winter emergency. When power lines fall beneath the weight of snow and transformers burst, you'll discover that energy is no longer a luxury, but rather a need. Without it, your phone, flashlight, and even medical devices such as CPAP machines are rendered worthless. And before you think you can just stick it out, consider this. The average smartphone battery lasts less than a day under heavy usage. When temperatures drop, that longevity decreases even further. A rechargeable battery bank is more than simply useful. It means the difference between being connected and being utterly disconnected from the outside world. But don't settle for just any battery pack. Get one that can charge several devices several times. We're talking at least 20,000 milliamp hours, and preferably more. Here's the kicker. Check sure it has solar charging capabilities. This function ensures that you are not kept in the dark for long, regardless of how long the power loss lasts. When the grid fails, the sun serves as a backup, and a solar-enabled power bank guarantees that your electronics continue to function as long as there is daylight. Pro tip: couple it with a foldable solar panel for faster, more effective charging. These panels are lightweight, portable, and capable of immediately charging your electronics or battery bank, making them a game changer when it comes to solar power. Now, let's get honest about what occurs when you lose electricity. Without communication, you cannot contact for assistance, check weather forecasts, or coordinate with family members. Without a flashlight, you'll be fumbling around in the dark, and if you rely on electrical devices like a weather radio or even a heated blanket, you're out of luck. In an emergency, a dead phone is more than simply a nuisance. It might be the difference between life and death. With a high-capacity battery bank, you can keep your basics running for days, giving you the time and resources you need to plan your next step. In the midst of winter, when the nights are long and the cold is brutal, the ability to text, listen to music, or light up your area may make all the difference in maintaining your sanity. Stock up on a dependable battery bank, rigorously test it, and ensure it is fully charged before the storm strikes. When the grid goes down and the frost bites deep, the last thing you want to do is stare at a blank screen, wishing you had prepared better. And don't underestimate the value of a well-filled, no-excuses first aid kit. Winter does not tolerate injuries. Here's the truth: in the harsh winter weather, even minor injuries can swiftly escalate into life-threatening situations. A small cut from cutting wood, a twisted foot on snowy terrain, or even frostbitten fingers can be disastrous if aid is not quickly available. You can't MacGyver your way through a winter emergency using only duct tape and a box of Band-Aids. A half-baked first aid pack is a death sentence, plain and simple. You'll need a well-stocked first aid pack that can treat everything from small wounds to life-threatening medical problems. Begin with the basics: sticky bandages in various sizes, sterile gauze, and medical tape. But don't stop there. Add wound closure tapes, butterfly closures, and, if you're trained, a professional suture kit. Why? Because even a little cut may become infected fast in frigid temperatures, and going to the hospital may not be an option. Include antiseptic wipes, antibiotic ointment, and iodine in your bag to ensure that wounds are adequately cleaned and disinfected. Your immune system is already under pressure during the winter, and a tiny cut may develop septic in days, leaving you with a fever and confusion if you don't seek medical attention. Let us now discuss the winter-specific hazards of frostbite and hypothermia. These are quiet murderers who do not wait for optimal moment. To treat cold injuries quickly, your first aid bag should include chemical heat packs, space blankets, and thermal wraps. Also, bring aloe vera gel or burn cream. Frostbite frequently causes skin damage, and treating it early can help avoid chronic tissue damage. Discomfort management is crucial, so remember to take ibuprofen or acetaminophen to relieve discomfort and reduce inflammation. Stock up on antihistamines in case of an allergic response, and make sure you have extra prescriptions. In an emergency, a well-stocked first aid bag can be the difference between life and death, so don't skimp. It's not a luxury, it's a must. Winter delivers more than simply snow. It also brings disease, which can lead to significant damage. Most people are prepared for the basic cold and flu symptoms, but what if someone fractures a bone when sliding on ice, or sustains a major cut in an accident? Your first aid kit should go beyond the essentials, include splints, a tourniquet, and trauma pads. These may appear excessive, but during a winter blackout, every injury becomes a possible disaster when your hours are even days away from aid. To treat serious bleeding, pack a blood clotting agent such as Celox or QuickClot. These goods save lives, period. Don't forget trauma shears, tweezers for splinters or debris, and a digital thermometer to check for temperature or hypothermia. Now, don't underestimate the psychological significance of an injury in a survival scenario. Pain, worry, and terror may send even the best-laid plans off course. Having a first aid bag is more than simply healing injuries. It is also about being calm and focused in the face of disaster. Teach yourself and your family how to use each item in the kit, because the last thing you want is to be fumbling with instructions when someone's life is at stake. Check your supplies on a regular basis. Drugs expire, sterile products lose their seal, and your medical flashlight's batteries might run out. Your equipment, like you, must be in excellent working order. A well-stocked first aid bag is not a choice. It is your primary protection against winter's merciless indifference. In the freezing grip of a blizzard, when ambulances are stranded in snowdrifts and your nearest neighbor may be miles away, that kit becomes your lifeline. If you ignore it, you risk your life. Prepare, maintain, and learn how to utilize it, because there are no second chances in winter situations. A first aid pack is not only useful, but it may be the difference between life and death. And there you have it, the 7 essential stuff you will need to fight winter straight on and come out on top. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who might benefit from it, and subscribe for more survival ideas and advice. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, warm, and ready. See you at the next one.